only halfway through another week, Nigel. Last week, solar provided 100% of South Australia's state demand, and the International Energy Agency declared solar to be the cheapest electricity in history. I think we can all pack up and go home now. I think our job's done.
I'm with you, mate. We had our AGM today as well at work, and the boss was kind of rattling off all these material milestones that have happened in the last year. I mean, what's happening in South Australia as well with, control of distributed generation is also groundbreaking. It hasn't been done before at this level. There's actually some really cool stuff going on at the moment. It's very exciting.
Yeah, look, it's funny how the conversation's changed, actually. You go back about a year ago now, and people just sort of saying controlling solar, no, bugger off, we're not going to have that. But I think there's a bit of a realization now that it's kind of warranted and needed, and it wouldn't necessarily be as bad as some people would make out. In fact, there might actually be benefits. And even better, it's kind of encouraging the networks and the market operator to embrace solar. And that's kind of where the conversation's actually changed. I think probably because when control was talked about 12 months ago, it was in the context of, well, let's control the rollout of rooftop solar because we don't like the look of it, and it's kind of just, messing with our brains and our business models. Now they're sort of saying, look, consumers want rooftop solar. They're going to want batteries. They're going to want EVs. Let's embrace it. But look, we just need to have these little bit of controls in there. But South Australia's gone through the hard yards of having it rushed upon them. But I think everyone's emerging kind of unscathed. And look, that 100% solar thing last week was really quite groundbreaking. It was like the rest of it.
Absolutely mind-blowing.
Yes, I know. No, it was terrific. It was terrific. And look, even the International Energy Agency is finally recognising the potential, or actually the reality, of solar. I mean, if you think about the IEA, sort of formed back in the 1970s, really to defend the fossil fuel industry and the oil and gas markets after the big sort of oil crunch in the early 1970s. And it's always totally underplayed the prospect of solar. It's got these amazing graphs. You go back to 2010, 2011, even as recently as 2017, somehow they imagined the deployment of solar to be flat and the price falls to be sort of barely noticeable. But now they've actually realized, well, we were kind of wrong about that. Solar can be really, really big, particularly now that we need to actually reach these climate targets. Solar is going to be the king of the grid, and it's the cheapest ever, and it'll get cheaper. So bravo.
Yeah, in fact, I think that the quote that I grabbed was the cheapest electricity in history, right?
Yes.
It doesn't get any better than that from the IEA. It really made for quite an exciting week, hearing stuff like that and seeing, over 100% of generation being produced by solar in SA, and, controls starting to roll out that enable, really, really intelligent controls of solar, which enables more solar to go on the grid because it's not just being, controlled with a knife switch that they brought from the steam age with them, but instead we're catching up. It's happening, and we're the cheapest electricity in history. Thank you, IEA.